All right, we're live.
Hello, welcome to the Punk Rock Libertarians Podcast, episode 477. Yes, that's right. We are here on a Thursday. This will be likely our new time from now on. So I don't know what to do with my hands. This is so weird. But welcome to the show. I'm Otto, and that up there in the lovely top left quadrant. That's the word I'm looking for. That's Jared.
What's up, guys?
And then above me right here, that's Victor Charlie.
Aloha, guys. It's on.
And then that guy, that's the voluntarist right there, James Babb.
So good to be here, even on a Thursday. It really feels weird, though. So I'm going to just,
feels weird.
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm just kind of like doing the Brady Bunch bit. I'm like looking up like, hey, guys, how's it doing up there?
I mean, Monday, it kind of gave me something to look forward to on Mondays. Now, like Mondays, it's just going to be like, nothing going on.
There's no more Monday Night Football.
Yeah, see, like we were also like running into that like sports ball thing. Of course, we changed it as soon as the season's over. But
what are we gonna do?
Well,
don't they like record those so you can watch them later, or do you have to watch it in real time to really get the experience?
You got it real time. You got to see if your soul's broken.
You got to watch how the sports are rigged in real time.
Oh man, that's great. But yeah, so lots happened in the past 10 days since we've last talked to you wonderful people.
Where do we begin?
We've got World War III brewing abroad.
Yeah. Well, see, I don't know. World War III World War III is in a race right now between Civil War II. So we don't know what's gonna happen first, you know? What's gonna pop off first, guys? We got a deadline for tomorrow. Alex, tell the good people about this deadline that you were telling.
So yeah, the 26th. Apparently, the Biden administration basically just told Texas, like, you got to take the razor wire down at Eagle Pass, where currently their National Guard is. So who knows? Tomorrow could be the standoff, and it could happen. So there's a news clip up top here, Jared, that breaks it down. But because
what do the property owners say about the razor wire?
Well, the thing is, like, nobody gets into like, well, what is this property here? Apparently, it's used by the federal agent, so it's federal property, but it's within Texas. So
there's no legitimate owner, is what you're saying.
Exactly. So the Supreme Court overruled the state of Texas, and now I guess tomorrow's the deadline. But here's the clip; they might break it down better than I do.
As it stands right now, you might be able to make out behind me, Texas's razor wire is still here inside of Shelby Park. It remains untouched. However, the Biden administration has now warned Texas it has until tomorrow to allow Biden's border agents back into Shelby Park and the ability to remove Texas's razor wire as it sees fit. A federal attorney writes to Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton that the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the Biden administration, ending a temporary restraining order that prohibited Biden's border agents from touching Texas razor wire in and around Shelby Park. The Biden administration goes into detail about the access it wants. It wants access to Shelby Park, also the nearby boat launch and the international bridge.
Wait, what the hell is going on in this clip? Is that people on the other side?
Is that Ukraine? What are we looking at here?
Dude, that is a shitload of razor wire, man.
Is that Gaza? What atrocity are we looking at? You know?
And is that people? Like, that's people over there on the other side, just like
I think they're installing it. They're just
I
think.
Yeah,
dude, that is like a shitload of razor wire
at all. Does it?
Putting in the machine gun.
Are they keeping people out or keeping us in?
I mean,
I don't know, you guys.
They'll let you know when the time comes.
Eagle Pass or whatever.
Hey, I'm glad. You know what? Don't forget.
I mean, how much is this covering? How much area is this covering?
Who the fuck knows?
Probably not even that much.
It's probably like what, like half of a mile at the most or something.
Otto, do you have any maps?
No, I don't have the maps. We could find a map.
Let's look it up.
I don't know,
and then on the other side, you can just kind of run around the thing.
Now, keep in mind that the federal government last year spent $6 trillion confiscated, right, from everybody. They're starting wars abroad. They're funding a genocide in Gaza, and but this is going to be what everyone fights over. okay, like crazy. Like,
Well,
really?
I mean, if this is what's going to spark the national divorce debate, I'm all fucking for it. I'm all for it. Let's go. And there's Otto's maptism moment. There's the latest map because you have governors, red state governors that are in fully support of Texas, and then of course, obviously, it's along political lines.
Fight.
So
yeah, fight.
It's drawing lines, and if this escalates the Texit movement, I'm all fucking for it. Let's go.
Remember, they also created a bioweapon and released it on the world that killed millions of people and will be inflicting damage for the rest of humanity. Nobody gives a shit about that. But suddenly, let's go to war.
Have you guys noticed that? Have you noticed that
some
lately?
Tomato pickers.
When people are posting about how all the shit that's coming out about the vaccine, like how companies were bribed to administer it, the vaccine, just all this stuff, you'll see comments under dude, it's been freaking 4 years, dude, let it go. I'm seeing lots of people saying, just let it go, man. Like, you're in the past. Like, that's
let it
already
go.
happened, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
who won't let it go
all the time?
You know who's not letting it go is the Biden administration prosecuting doctors that faked vaccination papers or anybody that
I'm sure they're still
just
getting
did the right thing to avoid the experimental jabs is still being prosecuted. Nobody's letting them go. No, where's the let's just forgive and forget, we all made mistakes bullshit? Hell no. And don't forget, they completely bullshitted the world, not only into taking these experimental jabs and created a horrible excess death problem around the world, killing hundreds of thousands, probably millions of people. Through their gain of function research. Then they denied it. Then they lied about it. They gaslit the entire world. They shut down industries. But this is what's going to get everybody mad. Okay.
It's funny how things work. It really doesn't make sense. I mean, but there is, my God, people, I've never seen people crossing the border more than I've seen the past few weeks of this whole debate that's been going on. Just videos of hundreds and hundreds of people just crossing. I don't know. I
bring them on. Bring them on. The CIA and the security establishment, basically, we know they manipulated the last election, suppressing the Hunter Biden laptop story, all kinds of public opinion that would have been against the regime. Basically, they took control of the last election. Nobody, I don't even care about elections, but a lot of people do. But it's completely ripped off from them by the national security state. And nobody cares about that either. I just find this really suspect that they find something that really doesn't matter to anybody, but still kind of an emotional thing, get everybody riled up.
But Babs, it genuinely does, though, because here's the thing. There's people that, all right, cool, you're going to push this fucking jab? I don't care. I'm just not going to partake. There's things you can avoid. But the thing is now is the fact that you have buses just showing up nonstop in these cities where literally airports are overrun. Airports suck to begin with.
How is this a negative for me or you or anybody?
Well, we're gonna have to foot the bill at some point. We're gonna have to foot the bill. Anybody who pays taxes. I mean, it's gonna affect all communities. We're gonna educate. It's just gonna.
They spent $6 trillion. They spent $6 fucking trillion, right? There's no limit to what they spend. It's not like they're like, well, we've got these immigrants. We're gonna
this argument that somehow if we
about that.
This argument that somehow if we get the borders in place and we stop the flood, that taxes are going to go down.
No, they're
really?
not.
Are you fucking kidding me?
They're not.
That is ridiculous.
Or they're not going to go up. They're going to keep going up. They're just going to keep going up forever until the thing fucking collapses.
You guys know about the Laffer curve, right?
What's
you guys
that?
know about the Laffer curve, where it was sort of a study of where the higher the tax rate goes up, the lower compliance rate. So if you tax, to maximize revenue, you want to get just the right tax level without going too high. And these guys spend entire careers trying to calculate that maximum extraction point. Lower taxes a little, raise them. The goal is maximum revenue at all times. Any services that they spend the money on is purely the minimum token necessary to justify their existence. So, I mean, yeah, how much is my tax bill going to go down? Like, really, is the school board going to call me and be like, "Hey, we're going to slash your taxes this year because they closed the border"? I mean, that's just not going to happen.
But that's the thing. I keep hearing this argument that like
No, but it's
somehow
not like
this
you're
has
gonna cut
any effect
taxes,
on
but this will be
the
their
taxes
excuse
you're paying.
This will be their excuse to raise taxes, seize property. They're bringing it. They're going to get these people to vote. You know that they're going to.
No, they don't need excuses. It's based on the Laffer curve. It's not. They don't need to justify anything.
I'm saying they don't need to, but they will, and this will be it. This is just their excuse to get everything through. This is a way to overrun your community with excess people who.
Whose community do you, Nate? Raise your hand if you know somebody whose community's been overrun.
Clearly,
Philly's been overrun, but it's not by people from outside the country, right? Like,
right. I'm thinking out what's going to happen. You look at what's going on in New York. You got a bunch of these, all these cities where these mayors are talking like they're from like the.
I'd say the demographic problem in Baltimore is not Hispanic people.
Yeah, I'm not saying
it's
there
not
is.
Hispanic people.
This is the goal.
If you're going to deport a certain group to improve the local whatever, yeah.
It's the politicians. Get them the fuck out of there.
Yeah, I have the same, general opinion of you guys, but also I'm weary when Klaus Schwab starts talking about how great this is, and when the leftists and the crazies in the fucking world are like, "Yeah, bring them in. Let's bring in more." I'm like, that's.
I mean, this idea of let's bring. It's like. It's not let's bring or let's not bring. It's just
yes, it is. It is let's bring him. We need more. This is good.
Well, those people are obviously trying to trigger people like Alex.
No, I mean, look, I'm just saying, like, this is not. It's in the long term. This is going to be detrimental. In the long term, we can't continue or exist as a society if it's like. Where
what happens
in a welfare state, we can't. We're already fucking broke. Like our everything is falling the fuck apart. So we're gonna bring in more people, right, to fund on an ever shrinking. I mean, look, I'm not a collapsitarian.
Dry.
Yeah, I mean, look. So nothing positive is going to come out of this. Okay, the individuals coming here. Look, they're fucking emptying prisons from Venezuela and sending these fuckers here. They're not sending their best.
I think that's great.
No, it's not until they rape your daughter or like murder or like look at the criminal justice system.
People have studied it. There's no higher crime rate for people from immigrants than there are from natives.
You're sounding like a Lolbert Babs.
I'm telling you, there's no evidence to support higher crime rates due to immigration. This argument's been out there for years.
Yeah, by the lovely people at Cato.
Why the Cato Institute? Like, you're coming off very reason-like here, Babs. You're coming off okay. Coming off very Cato-like. Okay. Why emptying prisons in the third world is a good thing? A study by Cato.
Hey, but I mean, look at the prisons in Baltimore. They're not filled with immigrants.
Yeah, but they're not filled with people that are productive to society.
But those people aren't immigrants.
No, they're not. They're a product of the system, and the system is encouraging more of the same shit. How is this going to be?
How do you know they're emptying their prisons anyway? They used to say that about like Castro and stuff back in the day. Like, really, like, is there real evidence about like prisons getting emptied and like here your sentence is over. You're going to Oklahoma.
The people that are fleeing, are tired of their country being run by cartels.
Well, that too. I mean,
that's what it is.
I'm not like denying that, but this is not natural of what's going on. And when they're literally showing up, and this is going on in Europe, where people are showing up and having a fucking cell phone and $2,000 and a credit card, and they're like, go to this town and see what the fuck happens. And it's not.
I mean, I will say that
it's a clear agenda.
The migration problem in Europe is definitely. I mean, you definitely have a culture clash between.
Oh my god, I saw
Muslims and I guess the West, if you want to call it that. I don't think that's the same. I mean, Hispanic people. I mean, they're all Christians.
They're home to roost. Colonialism has come home to roost. They fuck up all these third world countries.
Yeah.
They create utter poverty and
they do.
And
They
dismay,
do, not me.
and they
Why do I
ruin
gotta
these
deal with it?
countries.
Yeah.
And
Why do I gotta deal
then
with it?
Who's they?
Well, maybe
man?
not you, Otto, but all the other voters around you.
Yeah.
they're at least
they
partially responsible.
destabilize these countries. They create poverty and misery and terrorists.
Great to hear.
And then maybe like, hey, let's create some more mayhem. Let's make sure that we can get them into Manhattan and ask them if they need any explosives or know how to fly a plane. You know, like
Need any flight
find
lessons?
some, you know, get those guys some box cutters. I mean,
But this is like, I mean, this is the thing too. They're all being funded by NGOs on our tax dollars. They're all being funded. This is all like a UN. It's all part of Agenda 2030. It's all part of the destabilization of the West. I mean, this clearly and the people at the World Economic Forum, when they're cheering this shit.
we should.
Right,
We
that's
should
what
be
I'm saying.
directing
That's what
our
I'm blaming.
anger
I'm
at
not
them,
blaming
not against the poor people on the other side of that razor wire.
No, but at the same token, it's like if this is just I don't know where I'm going with this, but
I mean,
guess
look,
what
I'd agree with you that like the unnatural forcing of
I mean,
migration is bad,
Yeah.
which
You know
involves
what else is
a
unnatural?
which
lying
it,
to the-
hold-
Six
so go ahead,
trillion
Jared.
in federal spending last year. Okay, that's completely unnatural, and it's going to have all kinds of unnatural, horrible consequences around.
Oh,
and the question is,
Dude,
is the solution to do even more of that shit, or to direct our anger towards those people that are doing it?
like this is an adverse effect from constant spending, constant warfare, constant welfare. That's what this is. This is a direct result of everybody who's been voting for this bullshit overseas, who's been and then now it's like, okay, all the all the consequences are starting to show their ugly head. So instead of saying, hey, maybe we shouldn't let everyone in all at once to fight our inverse effects, they're just like, oh, no. We're going to keep doing our bullshit overseas, and then we're just going to let everyone in who we might have affected. It's not a good combination. I'm starting to see that like open borders is like a side effect of a libertarian society, not a goal in and of itself. It's like a side effect of it. It's like, wow, like we have an open border because there's nothing here to give away except for opportunities. So if you want to come on in, come at it, come cracking, get started. Let's get to work, be a part of our libertarian society. Come in and pick grapes. And
I would
up to you own your own farm, that type of idea.
I don't think it's a concept. I mean, freedom of association is central to libertarian philosophy, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, by virtue of that, it means that like if I want to associate with somebody from another place in the world, let's call it, like as long as they can afford to get to me or contact me or whatever, like I should be free to associate with them. So I mean,
you're also free to not have to associate with them too.
Right, but I mean, that doesn't. What's that?
Nobody's telling you that you have to invite these people into your home.
Not yet. But New York City, I'm telling you, give it a couple days or give it a couple.
I don't know, man.
We're gonna start saying like
this one. I think,
but I mean, if I'm living, if I'm living in an area,
has government ever respected private property? Like it might get to a point where it's like, oh, do you have a home? We have a migration crisis here in New York City. If you have an extra room, by law, it could get to this. And I'm telling you,
so you're saying because government could be so horrible that we need to make sure that we have even more government to protect us from that.
No. That's not the diagnosis of it. I think Alex is dead on with this. I think there is going to come a point where they're going to say to the renters, like to people who own houses, they're renting it out, and they're like, okay, well, at the end of this, if you want to keep renting in New York City, you have to, for 1 year on you, take in a community in your rental property in order to keep your rental license in the state.
Wait, are you saying New York City would have some kind of tyrannical renting laws that are like completely disruptive to normal society?
And then, and then Los Angeles will follow after them, then Boston, and then all these other cities will follow.
So how do you want to prevent that from happening?
Not razor wire is not going to help that. That's that's a cultural mindset. That's a.
How about we tell those mayors?
But what I'm hearing is like
those mayors to take a hike.
Yeah, what I'm hearing is like we don't want government to do this, so like we got to convince government to do that.
Joe, Thank you for finding our podcast and being a new fan. No, we do
And the
not
answer is
talk
no.
about Maryland politics.
No.
We do not
No,
on doors.
fuck
though.
Maryland.
Yeah, especially with their map.
We do go door knocking.
Otto, did you throw up the maptism of all
No,
the states that
hold
are
on,
supporting
hold on. What's the
Texas?
other-
So here's the maptism moment.
All right.
So
There
While
we
you're
go.
getting that
the
ready.
baptism
I got the
minute.
banner ready.
Okay.
Private chat.
While you're doing, I think there's one thing that libertarians need to watch out for, because we see all these government failures all over the place, right? A government failure should never be the justification for a government program, right? Or another government
point.
intervention,
Yes.
right? Like if you're addressing a problem caused by government, then we start there. You know, that's where the problem is. It's never a justification to do yet another intervention, because that's like the old woman that swallowed the fly.
Well, I'm not familiar with that. Still a woman who swallowed the fly.
And then she has to swallow a spider to eat the fly, and then she has to swallow something else to eat the spider that ate the fly.
All right, you're kind of turning me on there a little bit, so I wasn't
I
sure.
don't know. This is, I don't know. This is like 19th century.
All right, here we go. I got
Pre-boomer
this coming
boomer.
up now.
Okay.
Share. You guys see it? Do you see the
Bam,
map?
there it is.
There
So
it is. So this is the
basically
most
along-
recent map.
Fight.
yep.
Fight.
This looks like what's going to happen on the night before election, or like literally election night. It's the same map.
Look at
Who voted
Wouldn't
for
it be
Biden?
cool?
Who
So
voted-
There's a
allegedly,
good chance.
But interesting how like Arizona, which is a border state, New Mexico, which is a border state, they are not on board apparently, or at least they haven't claimed to be on board.
So
Well,
is
it's-
California.
who's running it?
California.
Who's running it?
Yeah,
Is Arizona Democrat?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Kathy Hobbs. She was Arizona was rife with voter fraud. That like Kerry Lake should have won in a landslide, and that remember
It's horrible.
remember Alex Jones, Rastafarian Alex Jones, like good day, sir, like that. That's all from Maricopa County in Arizona, like rife with voter fraud. It's a borderline swing
Come on,
state,
Jared.
but the
Gotta get on that.
the Dems have completely
shit.
swung Arizona to being like, so yeah, and New Mexico it's all gerrymandered as well. So it's all along political lines, like the current regimes in each state.
Yeah, this is going to be good.
But that's
It's
like,
all-
why does North Dakota care about the border? They try to keep the Canucks out. Like,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we got that's the other
Razor
thing
wire
too.
up in Wichita.
I'm-
like
Falls.
obviously this is all just okay. I've got to align this way so I can get the votes in November.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
or
all
if
it
you
is.
if you had like, okay, which are the most racist states in the country? You know, like I swear you could look at that too.
Yeah,
New Hampshire.
But let's
but also
how about
probably
this?
who
I
has
don't
the
know.
most welfare, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about this as the biggest,
yeah,
as a-
exactly,
as
that
a
too.
spark in the powder keg would be they elect Trump while he's in jail. Okay.
Oh, it's
Like, and there's just mayhem in the streets, right? Like they put Trump in jail, but then they elect him anyway, and it's going to be everyone's just, you know, what do you think?
I can't wait to see Chad's reaction to that.
I mean, I still think my theory's in play that I don't think there's going to be a 2024 election, or if there is, it's not going to be quote certified, or for months, and it's just going to be chaos, because like I think Texas this is accelerating.
I think an
Texas.
illegal immigrant is going to be the next president.
I mean, maybe like
The first undocumented U.S. president. Ladies and
Where you
gentlemen,
going, man?
Pablo.
But, I mean, they're
Ronaldo.
still going at him with these legal challenges, and some of these judges are completely partisan. There's a chance that he could actually, you know, some of this stuff. I mean, they're throwing all this shit up against the wall.
Yeah, it's
Something might
lawfare.
stick, right?
They're
Something
gonna-
really might stick. I think that's what Vivek's strategy was to not necessarily to go for the VP slot, but to be the Trump-liking guy, friendly with the Trump people, if in fact Trump is removed from the playing field. You know, like they're trying really hard still to do that. So who knows whether they're going to succeed or not. But I think it could make the election season actually interesting. If one of the like the leading guys in jail, let's do it.
Guys, we're not even through January, and think of like all that has happened in 2024. It just we're months, couple months, like what, November? We're 8 months away from it's gonna get no, not 8. What do we got? 10 months ish.
Well, the World Economic Forum has recently given us some previews about what to expect for the rest of the year, which I always think is great because you want to get excited about the season. So you need to see the clips and the like the trailers, know what's coming up.
What's in store for us, Babs? So this was last weekend. They had all the hookers and blow out there in Davos, and the world elites descended on their private jets to tell us plebes that eating burgers and driving our gas cars are harmful to the environment, right?
Yeah, well, let's see. I mean, Klaus greeted us with a message about to prepare for an angrier world is what he's got in mind. So he's kind of like, I think, predicting like what we've been talking about. I do have a video up in the chat if you wanted to cover that. He also this time welcomed Javier Milei to Davos.
Yeah, how about that? The balls on him.
That was pretty interesting, and like Javier like basically delivered a pretty good ANCAP presentation.
Presentation.
The video I have.
He went to Davos and delivered and put on a presentation.
Yeah.
Spoke
in front of all
minutes
of
them. He called them out right to their faces about the horrors of socialism and whatnot.
I wonder if he'll get an invite back.
Or is it all just an op?
Yeah, libertarians were mentioned again in the opening statement, which is always nice.
Wow, man, I'm telling you guys, it's happening. It's happening. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I don't know with the whole going back to the whole Trump thing. I don't know, man. I don't know if there will be election. I think there'll be some machinations of election.
Yeah.
It won't be fair or free or whatever. It never is, but it'll be the most blatant. Like they won't count Trump write-ins. They won't count Trump. Like they'll just kick him off the ballot. It's just gonna go from there. It's just gonna spiral out of control. You're gonna have people protesting outside of places where they're counting. They're gonna be smashing windows to get in because I remember how last time they locked all the doors. They covered the windows. They did everything so people couldn't see them counting. It's just gonna be fucking chaos. I literally think there's gonna be moments where it's gonna look like straight up civil war going on and like violence outbreak. But I don't know, man.
You never know. It's never going to be the important thing, right? And who knows what it's going to be that sets it off. It's going to be something that we really didn't expect. Maybe it's a stupid border thing. Maybe it's like, oh, you didn't count those votes. Who knows what it'll be? That'll just like get somebody going.
A black swan event of 2024.
It's just gonna be. It's probably
which is completely
fucking chaotic,
right by definition is unpredictable. But the World Economic Forum has also predicted that. So.
They predict lots of stuff, and I mean, with the new diseases that are coming out, this
disease X
and shit like that they're talking about. Well, I don't know, man. I don't know if Trump will get elected. I think
I'm already a disease X anti-vaxxer. I'll just come out right now.
All right, we'll go look back at episode 477 if any of us are still alive because it has like 100% death rate.
Yeah.
We'll go back and we'll play this clip.
So what did Klaus have to say here? What did we got it queued up there, Jared?
Yeah,
let me grab that.
Yeah, of course.
The Epstein one?
No,
that's a fun one too. But there's one from Klaus.
This says Klaus, Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. Yeah, there was a lot of
trying to find it. Is it toward the top here?
Yeah, scroll up.
I'll copy paste it again.
At 7:53.
Copy paste. Yeah,
I didn't. Oh, okay, here we go.
New day, same technical problems.
It's not technical. It's just
new day.
This is like 6 minutes long.
Oh, damn.
Well, we can just like let him start it out and then see how funny it is.
I don't know how it will play out in November, but what we know is that we will end up with many more unemployed, and particularly also people in the gray economy, which are not counted for, who lose their jobs. So we will
Can we up
see
the volume?
definitively a lot of anger
Sounds loud enough to
already
me.
now, but probably increase
All the
by
way
the
up.
end of the year, because this
increasing
crisis
anger.
will be with us until we really have found a remedy. So we have to prepare for a more angry world, and how to prepare.
I'm getting angrier.
It means to take the necessary action to create a fairer world, to see that we provide everybody with decent access to the health system.
You can- I
That
think
we
you can
make
cut it off.
sure that those
Yeah, I'm
people
done hearing.
who are
Remember
really
the
left
theme this year.
behind.
The theme this year, their conference is restoring trust. Right?
Oh.
They've come to the conclusion that everybody hates them and nobody wants to go along with their bullshit. They're like, what can we do to force them into trusting us again?
Like, trust us.
So now that somebody may have mentioned Jeffrey Epstein at the World Economic Forum, and it kind of looks legit, but I'm going to just say I'm reserving judgment.
So you think it's a deep fake, or do you think this?
You guys tell me. I don't. I just think it's fun.
Oh,
Trust has been eroding in recent years, which is why this week's meeting on rebuilding trust has been so important.
Rebuilding trust with whom exactly? I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you finish. But here's the thing: as far as the public opinion is concerned,
fake.
This is fake. Oh, dude.
but it's great though. It's
Let's
great.
hear them out.
you, and they never will because they didn't elect you. And here's the thing: while we edit, Epstein didn't kill himself, and there are probably people in this very forum who were clients of him.
Yeah, I heard that one going around. That's pretty good.
That guy always does that. He always interjects himself into stuff like that.
Nice.
I don't know
Yeah,
who
I've
it
never
is, but
seen
he's
that guy
pretty
before.
based.
yeah. Some of the stuff they're throwing out there, it's like wow, and they're really pushing the misinformation. I saw the who is it? She's the president of the European Union. They're pushing that really hard. Not only the election in our country, but apparently, I don't know, I want to say like 40 some countries around the world are having elections in 2024. So they're really pushing this misinformation, disinformation. We need to control the narrative. We need trusted resources or trusted news outlets, et cetera, et cetera. So they're getting ready to that, to, double down on the propaganda.
They know what's required to rule, and that is control of the media channels. I mean, this is right. They figured it out, and they're going to just double down. And if they can censor, coerce, anything they can do, they're doing it.
Yeah. So apparently your pool boy, I don't know, we can't confirm this, but pool boy's live stream got yanked off of YouTube within 15 minutes of just talking about my border down in
we were well right before the show, weren't we having problems with our punk rock libertarian URL?
Yeah, Jared, you were behind the scenes. You were having issues.
Yeah, man, it's definitely fucking aliens.
I'm thinking this is I'm thinking it's the beginning of any war. They cut off communications. That's the first thing they did when the British started starts a war. They cut that transatlantic cable, to make sure that like no one's going to hear from Germany.
Right.
This is how cutting off, if they can do it, they certainly will cut off any channel that's going to offer any kind of narrative that's not what they want, and they're not going to think twice about it. They've already primed the pump for what's our biggest threat: domestic terrorism, anti-Semitism, like everything. The pump's been primed. So these people are racist. These people are anti-Semitic.
Our boys, the biggest anti-Semite white supremacists were on parade up in New York City just recently, and I think we got some videos of that. So There's a couple in
Come out at
here.
weird times. They always come out at weird times.
Yeah, it's like, who the fuck are they? Okay, so anybody, and the one tweet, I don't know which one Jared's going to pull up here, but the one was from Republicans against Trump. And they're like, this is why we must defeat Trump in 2024 because the rise of white supremacy. And I'm just like, my God.
Do we have a video
Trump?
of these guys?
Oh, yeah, there's plenty in there.
I like to see their matching khakis and there's clean white face masks. They're wearing, and like, what are they, and like their statement, like, what have they actually said in their statements?
Well, they
like
interviewed,
nothing.
like, there's one guy who's unmasked who's like the spokesman of the group. And I think
Always the one, that guy.
This is the clip. Look at this fucking guy. Like, Spook Central.
New York has been in the news quite a bit lately. Around 300 communists tried to shut down all the bridges around Manhattan this month to advocate for Palestine along the continued communist goals of turning this country into a collage of brown-black slums in which everyone is perfectly equal.
So he's siding with he's siding with
that a bunch of
he was also
could you wait? Here's the anti-Semitism.
Undermining our country with a network of tunnels under Brooklyn. I don't know what exactly they were doing under there, but if it had to be done in a secret and illegal tunnel system, I can guarantee it was despicable. Even stranger, a bunch of people came out to defend the practices of this religious micro-minority in our country that is so vastly overrepresented in positions of power. The point of the matter is that our politics, especially the politics of America's largest city,
who cares about what this guy says? I want to see the snappy outfits.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know this guy did like a full interview. I didn't know that. I didn't even seen this.
So the video, there's that
another
raw
one.
news. The raw news clip. There's some videos. Yeah, they were like going through the fucking turnstile of like the New York City.
Yeah, they're in the subway and stuff.
They're like on a tour with the whole Fed guy. Look at these fuckers. They do some of their organized chants. Like what's that flag? What's the symbolism of their flaggetry? Look at their boots.
Where do they hold their meetings at?
Right. All covering their faces.
Zionists in government. Wait, so I thought. So wait, are they pro-Israel or anti-Israel?
They're anti. They're removing. What did it say?
Well, they were just talking about.
What did it say?
I think they're anti-tunnel
something about
Jew, but
America
also
is not for sale.
America is not for sale.
And then it says no Zionist
government. Okay.
Wow.
But the other guy was saying. The other guy was saying, like, you know, he was criticizing people for being pro-Palestine. So you're just supposed to be anti-Palestine and anti-Israel? Is that the
Their
idea?
messaging makes no sense because it's like no Zionist, but like you're siding with the Zionist by removing the like, dude, they're retarded. The Fed, like, they got mixed signals. So anybody seeing this is like, what the fuck is going on here?
It's kind of reminds me of like
for everybody to hate and get all
like
scared
the racist
about.
People who are like, I don't give a shit about them all. Let them fight to the death. Nuke the Middle East for all I care. That's what kind of appeals to that demographic, I guess.
That could be it.
You know, like, these Jews and
Muslims and towelheads and
goddamn
Jews, like America.
Right, like that's the vibe I get from these clowns.
But I mean, it's
actually kind of based. I mean, no Zionists in government. I think about joining.
Where do they hold their meetings?
I know. I'll infiltrate.
Okay,
it's at the public library right after the federally sponsored drag show. You know,
right. Hey, we do have a Fed level for $1,000. Feds, you know, we'll exchange information. You just let us know where the next Patriot Front meeting is. You know, value for value here. Okay, because I would like to attend. You know,
could we hire them for events?
Right. Maybe they'll table at the Maryland LP. I'll hit them up. Say, hey, $100.
See if they want to sponsor the next convention. Tell them, say, look, your friend Augustus Invictus, he's been honored at libertarian events. Maybe you guys would want to come.
Yep. We don't have any. Well, we don't have a speaker yet. Maybe the spokeshole of the organization there wants to give an impassioned speech at the Maryland Libertarian Convention in April, but I don't know.
No,
who do you reach out to?
March around outside protesting the libertarians that are there.
Oh yeah, you know that could.
But that could
draw.
Build,
I can't wait.
See, that could build the drama, right, and attention
on
the libertarians.
Oh yeah, there's going to be so much shit at the Libertarian National Convention. It's going to be like a demonstration. I guarantee you, Antifa's going to be there. I guarantee they're
Let's have Antifa. Let's have an
They're
Antifa standoff with
Patriot Front.
I got it. Antifa teams up with Patriot Front to protest the libertarians.
Oh man,
this would be the ultimate position, right? Like, what could bring these hateful retards together?
Dude, it's wild. It's just anybody thinking that this is like a legit organization. I'm sorry, like you're yeah, it's pathetic. I mean,
look, they need to keep this. They need to keep that threat alive, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, don't talk about the $6 trillion we spent. Don't talk about the wars we're starting. Don't talk about our genocide.
Yep. Yeah, because they probably. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure on NPR they talked about it or ran news story. Oh, a far right supremacist group marched in New York. I guarantee it.
Oh yeah, it's all like
that's why they staged
Trump's
these.
America. This is still Trump's America.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they drop in Trump's. They pepper it with Trump somehow. Like,
I wish it would like pull. Like that's the other thing too. That just goes to show like how. Okay, if they were truly white supremacists, if they were truly out there, okay, that just goes to show how lost New York City is. Could you imagine in any like say major city, right? You try to pull shit like that. I'm sorry. Like that's the other thing too. It's like they're feds because if they were just an organic actual group, don't you think people would confront them at some point? Don't you think there'd be videos of people just going up to them and just be like, you know what I mean? It's like
they have police. They have police escorts and whatnot to keep that.
Yeah, I mean, you saw in the videos. It was maybe hard to see, but in those videos and those listening, you literally see NYPD around them, kind of observing, but not like, hey, like just kind of keeping the peace. But you don't see like if they were like legit. That's the other thing too. Because they want to create this narrative that,
but I mean, these guys are a blip on the radio. Nobody's talking about this shit.
That's true too.
It's just fun to look at. But no one. I didn't even know about this shit, dude. Like I don't know about half this shit going on. Like,
but that's
we're
that's
just
why
too overexposed to shit on Twitter, man. It's like this isn't real life.
Yeah,
no one's like afraid of the Patriot Front. No one cares.
But that's why it's such an op. That's why it's clearly a bunch of fucking.
But why would they even waste money on an op that like no one even knows about? Like,
well,
that's not a good
chance
op.
for that. It's a chance for that department to shine every once in a while. They've trained hard. It's the Federal Bureau of Theatrical Performances, and they spend a lot of time on their costumes, and they really want to get out there and put on a show and get the applause.
I think there's definitely a few feds in there so that they can recruit, their next patsy for whatever
that's a recruitment opportunity,
terrorist action that they want to have happen. But I don't think they're all feds.
No, they're feds.
I'm pretty sure they all are.
They're all Jared. Look at those dude. I'm sorry. Nobody shows up. They're all fucking marching in lockstep. They're all wearing the same shit. I'm sorry. Like,
so Antifa's also all feds? Like they're all just all feds?
I'd say that's 50% feds.
Yeah, like a few.
I mean, I don't think
there's
it's
a lot
feds.
of just because I actually know a lot of legitimate, like retarded communists that do that kind of shit. Like, they're way too stupid to be feds. But,
but I mean, they're all chanting at a lockstep.
They're under.
I mean, like Patriot Front are total feds, man. They're
all
militaristic. They're like basic training. Like, hey, we're gonna march. They're all fucking recruits.
I think they're wannabe. I think they're wannabe.
Yeah.
Cops want to be like,
I don't know.
Yeah,
they could be cops.
People join the LP, morons.
I want to see a video. I want to see a video where they all they're like regular like rednecks and stuff, and then they all go into Target and buy matching khakis and shirts and scarves.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Matching hats.
They probably have like a den mother that goes out and buys all their shit for them.
They probably do because they can't be fucking.
Probably someone's mom.
There can't be dad.
Like that guy the guy getting interviewed, the Grand Marshal. It's probably his mom goes to Target and just buys everybody. What are all your sizes? I got mediums. I got large.
The Grand Wizard Marshal.
See, what I think the thing
I
is,
got all these cargo pants on sale at an Old Navy outlet.
doesn't it seem like there's no fat guys in the?
Yeah, there's no fat
Well,
guys.
I noticed that too because
Yeah.
they talk about that. They say someone asked them on the subway, "Hey, what do you guys like?" They have it videoed as they're on the subway headed out or into New York. I can't remember which way they were going, but they were asked explicitly by this guy who was recording on the phone, like, "Hey, what do you say to people who think that your movement is, like that could be infiltrated by the feds?" Or he's like, "Well, if that was what the feds were doing, then this would be the most important thing they ever do at their job is being a group of us where we do all these acts of charity for all these natural disasters and we help young men get fit." And I was like, "Oh, that's why there's no fat people." Yeah, they're going.
Are you considering joining, Otto?
Well, if it'll get me in shape.
That's what I'm saying.
Jared will not replace me. Jared will
Use
not
it. Hey, get a few curls in there.
I do what I got to do. I got to get in shape.
All right, we're gonna
Get your
do
steps
50
in. Get your curls in.
Yeah, I got a doctor update too.
Carry a heavier tiki torch.
Yeah, I'll just be benching.
Put some weights in there.
Getting white man strong.
Get ready for the bug. The real Civil
Wait, what
War.
charity do they do? What charity?
They said like for all the natural disasters, like they named like some of like the flooding in Vermont and Rhode, like they were like, you help donate shit to the. I don't know. That's what he said. That's what the Grand Marshal said.
The Grand Wizard Marshal.
They do an annual toy drive, which is a real big hit with the kids.
For black kids, we don't give to them. No mudbloods either.
Who knows? I don't know. They could be a bunch of cops and they wear the mask to conceal their identity.
I think they're not. See, cops would be fatter.
That too. Yeah, they're FBI.
I'm thinking they're like fresh out of like
I
one
think
of
they're
these,
Langley
like, military training schools or
They're
something.
cadets. They're cadets in
Yeah,
training.
cadet.
This is what they do. Part of their assignment is they have to join the Patriot Front. You have to recruit 2 people in order to get to pass your class at Langley or whatever.
I'm sure right. It's like being in college marching band. It's like you get the costume, you go on, you'd learn your formation, you learn the chants, you have fun at the game.
Yeah, that sounds plausible.
Could be.
Yeah, it's like their initiation, the rite of passage. Like, hey, we got this is like your see how you perform doing this.
Should be. Yeah. It absolutely could be. I would not be surprised if like 30 years from now we see a declassified document.
Yeah.
If this country's still around.
Operation Patriot
The
Front.
Federal Bureau of Theatrical Performances and Costumes is real. Like
they're like all white cadets had to play this, had to partake. It might be some DEI training. Like, I saw this one video where like this woman was telling like all white people are racist and like how dare you, and just like you have to accept your racism. And it's like, so this could be like a part of like the DEI training where they're like you have to go and be the true white supremacist you are, and at the same time bring in other white supremacists.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow, that could be it, man.
Wow,
Seriously.
that's a whole new level
like
that
a
I didn't even think about.
Like a humiliation ritual for them to accept their white racism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have to find recruits who are terrorists or to set up in some type of plot later on in the year.
And they have to maybe that's why they go on the subway so people can like spit on them and like just just treat them like crap.
Right.
That's a humiliation ritual. So then it's like
all secret societies have them.
Yep. Oh man. What a time to be alive. What other we had some other topics. What else happened this week?
World Economic Forum is like really had a lot of content for us.
So there was something about coffee.
I swear to God, they're trying to collapse civilization. They've declared war on coffee. Okay, like just when you think like, okay, they take away your car, they want you to eat bugs. They're forget they're declared war on farmers. Now they're like, hey, and you don't get coffee. Like you're going to be in a 15-minute city and not even drinking coffee.
So this is the article. Is there a video?
Well, here's
We'll
a
be having
video.
our coffee before the
here's a
session, and you raised the coffee example. I'd love just to give you the chance to expand on that.
Basically, the coffee that we all drink emits between 15 and 20 tons of CO2 per ton of coffee. So we should all know that this is every time we drink coffee, we are basically putting CO2 into the atmosphere. One of the reasons is because most of the coffee plantation or most of the coffee is produced through monoculture. And monoculture is also affected by climate change. The quality of these nature assets is deteriorating quite rapidly.
What?
All right, so is he worried about coffee plantations?
Sounds like he's more worried about how it's being produced.
So how else do you produce coffee?
He's also throwing in that it's also being damaged by climate change. Like he's not sure whether you're not going to drink it to say, but here's the thing, what would really benefit coffee plantations? More CO2. Plants love CO2, right? Like if you want to be pro agriculture, you're pro CO2. Greenhouses pump CO2 into their facilities to facilitate growth.
I mean, they don't talk. There was a video I saw. It was like this massive greenhouse. We're talking like a football field size greenhouse, and growing tomatoes. And it was somewhere in England, and they had these massive bulk tanks outside of CO2, just pumping CO2 in to produce like a higher yield, a more consistent yield of tomatoes. So it's like, but you won't ever hear that. Like, yeah, CO2 actually is beneficial to growing crops, but I digress. I'm not a biologist.
Well,
I swear to God, they want civil war. You want to start a civil war? Take away coffee. I swear to God, I will take up arms. Like
that's what set James off. That coffee.
You
take away coffee.
I let the whole COVID thing go. I let the whole excess deaths thing go. I let the genocide go. But you come after my coffee.
You come after the coffee. Babs will build that fucking wall. He's going right to Home Depot. He's taking his pickup truck down to that border. He's
no, I will build that wall all the way around Washington, D.C.
Oh, man. But I just think it just goes to show that your privilege is showing right now as white men speaking on the products of a Latin community. Latinx. I'm sorry. I was very bigoted of me.
Yeah.
Latinx.
Right.
I got in an argument with somebody on Facebook today. They had posted this sort of like infographic or meme kind of thing, and it said it was about rich splaining. It's where rich people explain to a poor person, right, like why they're poor, right, and how horribly inappropriate this is, and I said, you know what, I'm actually really happy to talk to rich people, and I really want to hear what they have to say. It's the poor splaining that I find really tiring, like, whoa.
Poor explaining.
Like, yeah, when they, because every single poor person will have 20 different reasons why they can't start a side hustle, they can't start their own business, they can't invest in real estate, they can't, they can't, to me that's the poor splaining, right? But and then they're like, oh, I bet you're a lot of fun at parties and you vote.
Like, do you even know this guy?
I said, no, voting's for poor people.
Oh my God. That's fucking great.
Yeah, it's going to be, man, 2024 is off to a wild start.
Dude, so how do you guys feel if they give the nomination to Nikki Haley? Dude, do you see Rand Paul? We got to play the video. Jared, you got to play the video. I
don't think that's going to happen. How could she possibly get it? What if they put Trump in jail?
Man, they're going to keep this lawfare up on Trump to just deny him.
If Nikki's really the candidate, I'm going to be stocking up on iodine tablets. I'll just put it that way. Like,
right. Build that bunker.
What am I pulling up?
I have a video of.
Yeah, it's gonna be one hell.
Never Nikki.
It's gonna be one hell of a non-election year. Yeah, it was good. Joe, our new listener, we happened to be tabling at the gun show this past weekend, and we had a lot of theories and discussions with people. But yeah, this was.
Run if President Trump ran. I'm Nikki Haley, and I'm running for president. I will not.
I'm running for World War
Not
III.
now, not ever. Support raising the gas tax. Let's increase the gas tax by 10 cents over the next 3 years. A huge issue that I'll deal with as soon as I get there is social media. They need to verify every single person on their outlet because, and I want
to
it by
know who's
name.
saying stuff.
I never said government should go and require anyone's name. I think China's been a really great friend of ours. Yes, I view China as an enemy. That was not what I intended to say. I do not think we need to pull money from the UN. The UN, the only thing is we would defund the UN as much as possible.
When a 12-year-old child in this country assigned female at birth
Child mutilation.
said, actually, I feel more comfortable living as a boy, what should the law allow the response to be?
I think the law should stay out of it, and I think parents should handle it. I think there should be federal involvement. You should not have any done to a child before the age of 18.
I mean, this is just typical politician.
You know what?
Right?
Did you hear her? Did you hear her after her sort of victory speech after Iowa?
Oh,
where she goes, like obviously they wrote the speech before like the results were in because she goes, it's clear this is now a 2-person race. Woo!
And she came in third.
Third place.
Like I feel like the script writer told her what it was going to be. She practiced it, and she's going to deliver it. You know, like
the literal NPC. Like that's what she is. Like
She's
when they
top.
asked her what the Civil War was about, she was like, "Well, what do you want me to say about the Civil War?" And you're like, "What?" Like she's a psychopath. She is the NPC, the worst of the worst. I'd rather have to. What is it? I'd rather have to deal with repressed Epstein Island memories every day of my life than live in a country where Nikki Haley holds sway. Thank you, Brandon.
Oh man, it's so.
I mean, I'm sure we were all like, "Gosh, what if Dick Cheney was president and a girl?" You know, like
who's kind of brown.
Dude, how about the fact like she posted pics? She was like complaining about that, like, "Oh, I was teased as a kid because I was brown." It's like.
Wait,
I don't understand.
Brown?
That.
Is this like a part Indian?
She's Indian.
Is she part of Elizabeth Warren's tribe?
Yeah,
right.
Wait, Indian like dot Indian or like
or like
not feather, not feather like Warren.
Yeah,
you know, that fat broad horse face.
I guess she does look a little bit Indian. Yeah.
Yes, she is, and she made this claim that she got kicked out of a beauty pageant because they didn't have a category. They didn't know where to put her in between whites and black girls or whatever.
Because she was so brown.
She was so brown. And then someone posted a picture of what she
did. She live in? Was she a kid in the 50s? Like what?
In the 80s? Yeah, like,
that wasn't happening in the 80s.
Dude, right. she looked wretched. And like in this picture they posted, they're like, "Oh, I wonder why she got kicked out of a beauty pageant."
Oh wait, hold up. Let me find the doc.
If you got the picture, you can find it.
Hold up.
Poor thing.
It's great. But then she also, so she made, that was her story. She was like, so I know what it's like being a brown person in America, blah, blah, blah. And then they played some clip of the last time she ran for whatever. And she's literally saying the same thing, but about when she went to go play kickball. There was a group of white kids playing kickball and a group of black kids playing kickball. And they told me to go out there and join your team. She's like, and I had no team. And everyone laughed at me and made fun of me. And it's like, wait a minute. This is the same shit you said about the beauty pageant. So like, it's like, kickball's racist, and so are beauty pageants. Got it.
Yeah,
like,
it's
just phony.
She sounds presidential, is what you're saying.
Yeah, she does. She does. She really does.
Here, Jared, play this.
A younger Meet Joe.
Here we go. This is a good clip.
But I mean, you can find this for anybody, really, right? I mean, you could find this shit where Trump's saying one thing and then saying the next thing.
Right, they're politicians. They just say whatever they think the crowd wants to hear at the moment, and they have no idea that the internet exists and video.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Obama saying like, "Oh, I'm pro-gay marriage," and then voting against the
bathhouse,
voting for the Defense of Marriage Act.
Him saying straight up, like, marriage between a man and a woman.
Yeah.
Even
And then
while
he's
he's literally, while he's in a bathhouse.
It's called evolving on the issue, Otto.
Yeah.
While he's
Nikki's clearly evolved on these issues.
Hey,
he's like
up to date polling info and act accordingly.
A marriage is between a man and a woman. Well, I'll be like, while he's with Big Mike.
Yeah.
That
one.
Oh,
there's the picture. There's her picture.
Wait, hold on. We need this in the helmet. We need this in the soldier's helmet.
Yeah.
Somebody out there, make that now.
This is what you're fighting for.
This is what you're fighting
to work, meme makers. That'll be perfect.
Do your worst.
Your
I might have to take it. I'm making a note of that.
Yeah,
just do it right now.
Play this.
It's real good.
Is
this a video? Oh, I didn't even realize it.
It's only a few seconds. But...
Guys, woof. Guys, girlfriend, woof.
Oh man.
So she's part of the whole. She's got the whole censorship thing going on. She's got the war machine going on.
Yeah.
What else does she have going? And she's got minority status.
Yep. It was amazing how and we should probably wrap this up pretty soon, but it was amazing like when they were doing exit polling in New Hampshire and all these people are coming out and they're legit like Democrats because New Hampshire has open primary and they're just fucking like NPC Biden supporters that are just like, I really like Nikki Haley. It's like, but we got to stop Trump. And it's like, oh my God, like they're just taking their marching orders for the military.
Literally, they're gonna help elect this like a war criminal like that like we haven't even seen just to try to stick it to Trump. That's exactly the kind of stuff they do,
right?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Remember the whole Pied Piper strategy that got us Trump to begin with. Remember when Clinton sent out the word to her media contacts to elevate the buffoon candidate so she'll have an easier run in the general election. It's like Netanyahu trying to fund Hamas. Like, when are these people going to learn that? Like, this is hard to control.
7-Eleven Indian, yeah. There you
go. 1,000. Like, it's God.
1,024th. Okay, I think that's what the ratio was. Anyway, so I guess that's about it for tonight. I think we're gonna take this on over to the After Hours podcast because we still got a lot of stuff. We got a lot of training surprises on the After Hours. We have a lot of topics. Yeah. So man, it's been fun. New night. This went by real fast. Damn. So we're gonna go take us on over to our After Hours podcast, which we're gonna record right after this. For as little as $3 a month, you get to check it out if you sign up for our Patreon. And there's all sorts of different levels on there. Still looking for the Fed level. Just throwing it out there. $1,000 a month. You guys can afford it. You know you can. If you're spending trillions of dollars, you can afford to give us $1,000 a month.
That's right.
So anyway, so if you guys want to find out about that, go to Patreon and look up Punk Rock Libertarians. And if you don't like using Patreon, there's other ways to donate to the show over at PRLfans.com. And we have t-shirts for sale over at libertariancountry.com. If you use the code PRL or PRL Podcast, you get a 10% discount. If you use the code PRL2 and spend $50 or more, you'll get a 20% discount. So until next time, live free
or die.